So, Coolwalker, we're going to kick you off with this. What is your favorite game system to run, and then what is your favorite game system to play?
Ran a great deal of games, but the one I keep coming back to often is Dungeons and Dragons. The most common one I've played is D&D Fifth Edition. I know D&D Fifth Edition does get kind of dragged through the mud for being, you know, the more popular one because of a lot of media outlets are toting this as like the superior game. But honestly, I like it because it's the most modular. Like you can change smaller or bigger aspects of it without changing the whole game,
Now, this is for you
as
to
well
run,
as
right?
yeah, and this is for me to run. This is not like to play exactly, though I do like playing in pretty much all forms of games. Um, the To answer that question though, it's like my favorite games to be a part of is actually more homebrew games actually, because like games people just kind of made with their base understanding of like some rules, just as long as they're consistent. I actually do enjoy playing anyone else's homebrew.
And not to mention, you don't know what to really expect with a homebrew. Like, if you were, because you've been in my games before, you don't like with me specifically. Let's just go with my excuse. You can't guess how much health the bad guy has left because you don't know. I literally made that creature myself, so you have no idea.
Exactly. Like I've played in a good friend of mine, Jahai's Ed and Netty campaign. That was really fun. I'm currently playing in a my friend's first Dungeons and Dragons game, and she's got some homebrew elements that she kind of throws in occasionally, and I'm enjoying that. Um, just a whole bunch. And I have a friend who's actually ran a One Piece campaign, and I am the least combatant character, and I'm enjoying the hell out of that. But yeah, that's it.
I could never like I've tried to emulate a One Piece campaign before, but you really can't do that. But just because you have to have like 1,000 sessions. Like seriously,
Exactly.
they just had the 1,000th manga issue come out recently, and it's awesome.
I just so you guys could like really like lay into me. I have not read a single One Piece manga as well as watched the show. Like the most I like have gotten into with the show is back when it first came to the States, and it
Rushman,
was like Four Kids, when it was on the Four Kids
which was horrible
time
because they gave
slot.
Sanji a lollipop instead of his actual cigarette.
Literally everything from what I heard was horrible. Except there's one thing that I have to always give the series one prop for. That theme is catchy as hell.
One Piece. Um, Now, so it goes to the question: what is your favorite to play in? Like you don't have the burden of being the storyteller, DM, or GM. What is your favorite tabletop game? And if you're in chat and you want to tell us what your answers to these questions are, feel free to throw them in there. I'll read them out.
My favorite tabletop game it has to be a tie between Cards Against Humanity
Always fun,
and
especially when your friends are drunk.
yeah, and Munchkin. It's a tie between those two games because I haven't had a bad version of either of those games. One is just like testing like how bad you're like how who's the worst in your group.
There's a version of
Surprisingly, it's always me.
Cards Against Humanity I want to get where it's supposed to be made for veterans. And I'm sorry this would exclude you, but there's a couple of the other streamers and friends of mine that I'd love to play this with. Sherrod, who's in chat, would be one of them. Mad Techie Mike, which would be horrifying to see what he says. And then Tunes, of course. These like just a handful. And I could probably find more.
No, like I agree, and honestly, I will help you with that. Not really, like participating,
I gotta
obviously,
find it, and then I gotta
but
because I'd have to set it up like because we're all remote from each other, so we'd have to find like a tabletop simulator for it or something. So you said Cards
let's
Against
just
Humanity, and what was the other one you said?
Cards Against Humanity and Munchkin.
Which is also
But yeah,
fun.
yeah, which is always so really fun. I haven't had a bad game except one butt hurt player. We all know. I'm not gonna get into that, but just one last side note. I know a way for you to actually be able to run something with that. Um,
Uh,
I'd say like yeah. What's up?
I was just
Like
gonna. First off, Sherrod said their favorite is 3.5 D&D, 5th Ed D&D, Call of Cthulhu, and Star Wars Saga Edition. I've always been my favorites. They do want to play White Wolf and more niche, however you want to say that word. I say
yeah,
niche
niche.
actually.
It's niche.
And but I do want to point out, Sherrod has been in my games and has had some of the more interesting experiences. I'll probably tell a story on that whenever they're co-hosting with me for an episode, because that'll probably come up. Might be the next one for all I know. Um, and then the follow up to this, Cards Against Humanity, is basically you have a bunch of cards. They say horrible things on it. One person poses a question, and then you have to answer with these horrible things. And whoever has the funniest gets the point. Munchkins is basically a card game of a D&D game, and the point is to make everyone else lose. It's real, and it's all nonsensical. Rat of unusual size might be the creature you're trying to destroy, and just it's like really funny. It's really good. If you haven't got a chance to look up Munchkin, there's many different versions, not just D&D. There's actually Cthulhu stuff and Fallout stuff. Look into both of them are great games. He is 100%. They're both great.